Good morning. Today's Thursday, November 17th, 2022. I'm James.
And I'm Harper, and here are today's top headlines. Americans are going back to the moon, and yesterday the first mission for the goal launches into space.
This time of year, we see lots of pine cones around. But what are they? We'll give you a hint. They're not just pretty decorations for the trees.
But first, let's go to Vera with today's lunch.
Hello, this is Vera with today's lunch. Today's lunch is our Thanksgiving harvest meal. We will be having a special lunch of turkey, mashed potatoes, and gravy, seasoned green beans, sweet potato casserole, and a dinner roll. Be sure to get your delicious Thanksgiving lunch today. But the question is, are they regular rolls or Hawaiian rolls? The only difference is one has a hula skirt. Thank you. Back to Harper.
Thank you, Vera. Yesterday, NASA's massive SLS rocket blasted off, sending the spacecraft Orion on its way to the moon. It's the first flight of NASA's Artemis project, which will later send astronauts to the moon. The current flight is testing the safety of several systems. After many delays, NASA's Artemis 1 mission finally blasted into space early Wednesday morning. There was no one on board, but the flight is an important test run for future missions, which will carry astronauts. Perhaps the biggest test for the Artemis 1 flight will come on December 11th. That's when Orion is expected to splash back down. As it falls through the Earth's atmosphere, it will have to hold under temperatures as high as 5,000 Fahrenheit. If the Artemis 1 project goes well, NASA plans to send 2 astronauts to orbit the moon on the Artemis 2 flight, perhaps in 2024. Finally, NASA plans for the Artemis 3 flight to actually land astronauts on the moon. That's planned for 25, but it's likely to be delayed.
One of the simplest examples of how plants adapt to ensure that their species survives is found in pine cones. Evergreen trees that produce cones are called conifers. There are more than 600 species of conifers, which include pines, firs, and spruce, each with its own type and size of cones. Species survive by reproducing. Conifers reproduce as their seeds spread, usually by wind, and pine cones act as seed protectors. You might wonder why pine trees' seeds need protecting and how the cone helps. Pine seeds are very small, and after the seeds are pollinated in the spring, the wood-like brown scales that make up the pine cone's exterior close to make a tight seal around their seeds, often so tight that squirrels and birds have trouble reaching the seeds to eat them. This protects the seed as they mature, which could take several years. The scales open when conditions are just right, warm and dry, so the seeds. Wind-like attachments can help them fly in the wind. Such a clever adaptation. The next time you see a pine cone, you'll know what it is for. Now to Cameron with today's weather.
Thank you, James. And now it's time for the weather. Today is Thursday, November 17th. Today is going to be mostly cloudy with a high of 56. It's still chilly outside. I hope it rains because who doesn't like snow? Anyways, now it's time for Trivia Tuesday. Up next on ONN.
Today is Think Deep Thursday. And today we are going to be looking at some facts about bread. Did you know that sliced bread was once banned in the United States? That's right, your favorite sandwich slice was only once banned, outlawed, not allowed to be bought or sold in the United States. During World War II in the 1940s, sliced bread became illegal because selling sliced bread required more waxed paper, and the machines used to slice the bread used precious steel. These were items that Americans were trying to save in order to support the troops overseas. The ban only lasted 3 months because Americans were not happy to give up their sliced bread. Sliced bread had only been around for a few years before the ban, but people had already decided they couldn't live without it. For today's Think Deep Thursday, write or draw for us something that shows what it would be like to live without one of your favorite inventions. What's something you can't live without? What's something that you use or need something every day? And what would your life be like without it? Put your stories and pictures in our ONN box by the library, and we'll pick some up to show on the news after fall break.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Stay standing for the moment of silence. You may be seated. Today's birthdays are Robert Daniel and CDW, Chloe Hill and KA, and Larson Smith and 4M. Now it's time for our birthday joke. What did the cake say to the ice cream? You're cool.
Remember, Beanstack prizes will be awarded right after fall break, so make sure you are logging, you're reading, and completing challenges. Prizes, guys. Prizes.
Our canned food drive is almost over. Get those foods in the box of your favorite team. Remember, Kona Ice will be here tomorrow.
I'm James for ONN. Have a wonderful day.
And I'm Harper for ONN. Have a wonderful day.